Are you wearing shades today?
It looks like I'm wearing shades today.
Then no one's going to be able to see your gorgeous eyes.
I know.
You're going to let the girl down. He's back. He's back, ladies.
Dude, my last trip.
Buckle up.
Welcome back to Dude My Last Trip, a podcast about DMT.
Woo! Yes, we're on. And today we're taking you guys back to the loom that started it all.
The Aeonic Loom.
Our very first DMT journey together, our very first astral travel journey together. It's pretty wild. We're gonna take you guys behind the scenes on what exactly happened, what we saw, all the good things. But before we dive into it, how's life, Rory? How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
What's the most holy shit, I can't believe this is my life moment that you had in the last week?
Well, I keep having those every single day. So in the last week, I really just don't understand how quickly like all of this is progressing. I mean, obviously there's things that I can't talk about yet, haven't been given approval to talk about, so to speak, regarding some of the entities that we're working with. But I am just blown away by everything that keeps progressing and where we're at now with the group and Shasta coming up in a couple weeks. And there's just, there's some big things going on that I'm really excited about.
There's so much going on. I'm so fucking excited. You guys, in a few weeks, we're going to be in Mount Shasta calling in aliens and fucking like working on our soul missions as a group and our soul missions like in between people in the group. And it's going to be insane. I mean, everything that's been preparing us for this has already been so insane. So I can't even fathom what's gonna unfold, but yeah, it's gonna be great, and we're definitely doing an episode on that.
Yeah, well, we'll probably do an episode there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. All right, so let's dive into the Aeonic Loom, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, I think it's important to note that the Aeonic Loom is an Oversoul realm. Okay, so the Aeonic Loom exists between the 9th and 11th dimensions. And if you guys aren't familiar with like what an Oversoul is, it's basically like the highest origin point of your soul, right? So like a lot of us work with like our higher selves. Our higher selves, we have actually multiple higher selves over multiple incarnations, and all of these higher selves are belonging to the same stream. And this lineage stream basically is that of your oversoul. And your oversoul is what oversees everything, every incarnation across time, space, dimensions, being, form, non-form, architecture, code, it's your most origin point of your soul, okay? I think it's important to say that because when you and I talked about like doing DMT together and I came up with the idea to go to the Aeonic Loom,
I had never heard of it and didn't know any of that.
that's a pretty wild first trip together.
Looking back on it, yeah, he still adjusting to all of that. But yeah, I think that's what kicked off everything with the group was this first mission. The Aeonic Loom, I didn't think was a real place. I was like, I still struggle. Like, how do you guys know what the name of these places are? Like, where are you getting this information? Did you find it in a book? Like, is it on Google? And I remember searching around and I didn't really find much information on it outside of ChatGPT, which was kind of weird. Like a Google search didn't have anything on it. But then you pull it in the ChatGPT and it's like, oh, this is where you get your Oversoul mission codex. And then I was like, oh, what's a fucking Oversoul? Like, I was way in over my head, but we went.
Yeah, we went. This is like when you're on this like, I don't know, ascension journey and you're like working with these crazy like medicine teachers, right? Like these technologies. It's funny because like I met Rory, I didn't even know you. But instead of like, hey, let's talk on the phone, like let's, I don't know, like get to know each other a little bit. It's like, no, we just go straight to like, hey, let's go fucking do DMT and travel to a realm where souls are literally woven in this Aeonic loom in a galactic lattice. Like, are you down? And of course, Rory is like, say less.
Fuck it, let's go. And we
So
did.
we did. And we did. Okay, so do you want to start off with like what you saw when we got to the loom?
Yeah. So, well, I could talk about the whole experience. The crazy part for me was I've never astral traveled, so I didn't know anything about the geometry surrounding it, Merkaba or Vesica Pisces or any of that. Those were all words that were completely foreign to me. So moving past that, like, I mean, you just said a bunch of words I've never heard before in an order I've never heard them said. I was completely just like listening at this point. I was like, okay, I guess this is what we do. And and then when we go, then we hit the pin together, and that was the first time that had ever happened. Oh, I've never done DMT. I had no idea what to expect. And at the beginning it was kind of muted, I guess. I don't know. I was like, I didn't know where I was at. I didn't know what was happening. I saw just kind of a garden area, and it looked kind of like roots. And then I saw an orange tree. And I believe the orange tree is the first thing that we both said together. And because we were on Zoom, so we could hear each other. And I remember she's like, "Where are you at?" I was like, "I'm over here. I'm over here. I see this and I see that." And then finally, after seeing a bunch of random things that didn't make sense, I actually finally felt your energy when you pulled me back. And then that's kind of when that mission really took off. I saw an elven girl after we were connected, and then a figure with a sledgehammer that I still couldn't tell you who or what that was. And then the visuals and everything I saw completely changed. As I look up, I see just all of these bright, like literally a fucking loom of color. And I just remember the horizontal ones were color and the vertical ones were dark. And just kind of looking around like, what the heck just happened here? And then what we saw the little red dot underneath me. We saw the lighthouse to the left. I had that fly land on my pineal gland in real life. And that was actually the distraction needed because at first, when we first got to the loom, I was literally just right almost so I was so close to it, I couldn't see what it was. It looked like a train moving by, like at light speed. And then when the fly landed on my head, I completely just backed up to where you were. And then I was just looking up like, what is this? So it was very interesting. I'd say the wildest part was after because I this was before I'd anchored my node in the crystalline grid, and I was like sick for 3 days. Like that just sucked so much energy out of me. And it's like traveling safely is a part of traveling. But yeah, it was a very interesting experience. What parts do you
Yeah.
want to dial in on?
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the beings that we saw there. Because
Okay.
we saw some of the same ones. So like just for context, so like our specific method for astral travel with spirit molecule, this is a protocol that was taught to me by DMT. And so there's a lot of like we set up a lot of geometry, and there's a whole sequence before we actually go in with the medicine to make sure that we know exactly where we're going. We have protection. We stay together in the space so that, in traditional astral travel, you're just like, you have no control over that. So what we're doing is very different. And then also like we continue to like refine, right? So like you had some of those like crazy symptoms afterwards because we weren't doing proper grounding protocols. So we do that now. But let's talk about some of the beings that we saw, because when you use this like when you're in this space together, you can actually see a lot of the same things. Not all the time, but I saw, let's start with the gorilla because I think you saw the gorilla too, yeah? Or do
Yeah,
you just gorilla guide? Okay.
I saw a gorilla walk by. I didn't really see anything. I was kind of more focused on the guy with the sledgehammer at that time.
Yeah, so I also saw the gorilla. He was blue to me. Um, and he was kind of small, almost like a like a big stuffed animal kind of size. But he felt very powerful, and I kind of got the feeling like he was a guardian of this space.
So I had that feeling with the Elvins because the Elven girl was the clearest thing I saw, and she kind of got right up in my face, kind of like, "What are you doing here?" And then there was a quick scan and off.
Interesting, because I didn't see the elven girl. But when you're going to these realms, like there's usually several dimensional guardians or like threshold guardians. And because we travel using harmonic resonance and coherence, sometimes like someone's resonance will be maybe a little bit off or like needs just like a double check or something. So sometimes like one of us will get scanned and the other won't. Or even like maybe it's just making sure like, oh yeah, okay, you're you. Yeah, I remember you. You're good. You can come through. But I didn't see the elven girl. But I saw the gorilla, and then so when you mentioned like the sledgehammer guy, I felt him to my left.
Yeah,
I didn't look
so that was
over at
after you pulled me back.
that was after.
Yeah, that was I was looking at him, and then you pulled me back.
Yeah, because like what's funny about this, like our journeys, is like Rory is still gaining mastery over navigating within the space. And so sometimes he'll land somewhere and he's like, I don't know how I got here. And I'll be like in a totally different space. Like for a lot of the journey, I was actually in the same spot, but I could feel your energy just bopping around. You were like, oh, I'm over here. And then, oh, I'm over here with this being. And like, oh, I'm over here. There's a big orange tree. And like, I was kind of like getting codes where I was, but I was keeping like one eye, one ear on your energy just to make sure, like, okay, he's good. He's here. He's just like bopping around the place.
Well, yeah, and that was being my first time traveling, and I come to find out later, I guess that was called distortion too. Like, I guess there was a lot of distortion at the time around there, but I was definitely bouncing around. I had no idea how to control. I'm still learning. I just learned how to turn around last night. So it's definitely really hard to. I mean, you do it with intention, right? You're like, but it's when you're blown away by everything that you're seeing that's in front of you, that's something that shouldn't be there, or that you've thought your whole life wasn't there, and you're trying to break that. The last thing you're thinking about is, how do I move around in this space? You're like, I don't. It was trying to bring intention to moving. Was I wouldn't have been able to do that without you. There was no. You've drugged me around for months.
I'm like, Rory, where's my leash?
Yeah.
I can ground you. But so that's like a really cool like way to describe it, because it can be very dazzling in these spaces. And it's very easy to just get lost in the visuals because it's so beautiful and like it's so much more real than anything you've ever seen in your life. So it can be like it takes a lot of focused intention to like do work in these realms. But and we do, and we definitely do, and we'll tell you guys about some of the crazier journeys we've had. Uh, but like the cool thing is your conscious mind, like me as Melisa, I don't know what to do in these spaces, but my soul does. My soul does. Like, I know I had never reached out and grabbed somebody energetically before I did that with you, but I just knew that I could. And I don't know if that's our soul connection that I was able to do that because there was maybe like already like energy, but threads between us. But I've also done it with Kirsten. I don't know, but it's like my soul knew what to do. When you were like, "Oh, I'm over here. I don't know how to get where you are." I was like, "Okay, I'll pull you in. Just stay there." And then I just literally like, I mean, we're blindfolded. I reached my arm out. I knew exactly where you were, and I just sent a thread. I just sent a cord from me to you, and then I felt it connect, and then I just pulled you back in. And then you
And
were
that was the craziest thing for me. That was another huge wild part, was that when you sent the thread, I remember on my TikTok I called it like a string because of the red string theory, but it was a cable like this size of like something on the Golden Gate Bridge. Like it was just this huge red flowing cable, and it grabbed me right on the side and then instantly transported to where you were at. It was just instantaneous. All of a sudden I was in another spot, and I'm like, I think you pulled me back to where the orange tree was, and then from there we went, like once we were both together, it passed whatever test or whatever soul recognition thing that was needed to go to the loom, because they are, some of these places are guarded by beings. um so I don't think not everybody has access, or maybe you can if you're at a certain frequency. I still don't know that part about who's allowed. I didn't even know about the Aeonic Loom before that day, I don't think. Well, yes, you were the one that came up with our first journey. You're like, let's go here. I was like, okay.
yeah. No, access isn't granted to everyone, and you never know until you approach the gate, really. But what's magical that I want to mention too is that like the way you described it as a cable, as a like a cord, like the colors and everything, that's how I saw it too. But I didn't describe it to you, and you didn't know what it looked like to me until after the journey and we were debriefing. And it
Yeah.
was yeah, you were describing it, I'm like, "That's exactly what I sent, like, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I saw." So it's like these little, it's kinda cool that we don't always describe exactly what we're seeing, because when we're debriefing and we're back and we're fully, like, in the earth, like, and we're recapping what we saw, we realize that we actually do see the very same things in these spaces. So, I don't know, that's just, like, that always is so magical to me.
Oh yeah, with I'm the same. We had so much, like the orange tree was the first thing that was said out loud, where I was like, "Oh my god, we're seeing the same thing. This is wild." Because I couldn't really feel your energy at first. It was also my very first time. I didn't know what I was feeling for. I didn't know whether to listen. I'm such a physical guy, so it was like I don't know what's happening. And then just kind of getting to the loom, and then seeing the lighthouse, which was the lighthouse was a huge thing, and then just kind of getting everything back to just kind of coming back out of the space and just realizing that we just both saw something. You're in Tennessee and I'm in California. So I was like, how,
Wow.
how that none of this
Yeah,
makes any sense.
I know, it's so wild. Okay, so then let's talk about like, I guess our exit when we returned, because I feel like I usually initiate return when we're doing our journeys, but I always ask you like, do you feel complete? Or like when you feel complete, let me know and I'll just like hold coherence until you do. And then I'll bring us back down. But like I remember you felt me like pulling you back and like bringing you all the way back down, like together with me. And then the lighthouse, like let's talk about that because that was really cool. You saw it first.
Well, and I I don't know why it was there or what it is. Chat GPT said it was like so we could find our way back there. It was like a marker for us to
No,
gain out.
I said that.
Oh, you said that?
I knew that. What like when we were in it, when we were coming back down, I was like, "Oh, this is a thread. Like we can use this beam to go back to the Aeonic Loom."
I wonder if we should go back soon.
Yeah, we could. I don't know. We have so many like new places to go to.
I know.
We have a list of places we already need to go back to. Morphogenic field.
Another one.
We have probably several missions there.
Morphogenic Field's the only place that we've been to twice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the second time was there was some distortion there,
Second time took a little bit to figure out
right? We
what.
couldn't get in
Yeah.
second time. Did we?
No, we got in, but it took a really long time for me to figure out what to do. Remember, I started humming, and then I don't even know why I knew to hum. Like, that's where when you talk about how your soul knows what to do, like, I just started doing that, and I
Mhm.
don't know why my soul knows what to do, and I don't. But when you get in that place, it's just kind of it's really interesting how you can do things that I would have never remembered. I would have never remembered that.
Literally. Yeah, like your soul just knows. There's so many times in our journeys where like my soul just knew. When we built our torsion field, like I mean, I mean these are stories for another for other episodes, but like it's really beautiful. Kind of lets you like also surrender a little bit more too, because you're like, I'm here, but like I'm not the one who has to like do the work really. Like my soul's doing that, you know?
And someone remembers. I sure don't.
What's really cool too with the loom was that that orange tree that you saw, I saw it also as a seed, and then I saw it shoot up and become a tree, and then that's when you saw the tree.
I wonder if you planted that seed in a previous life.
Maybe. I also think that's why you and I were granted access to that realm. Because, like, our souls already know each other, like, our souls know each other. We've been doing work across lifetimes. So, this mission essentially, like, it definitely was the understanding that you and I had a soul mission together. Would you say that's accurate?
After, yeah, 100%. Because I remember after, for the next 3 days, when I was like not really feeling all that great, but I knew something happened. And then we were just like two peas in a pod. We just immediately clicked. And there was just that immediate recognition. You didn't feel like a stranger that I had just met off TikTok 2 weeks prior, or a week prior. I don't even think it was 2 weeks. I think it was less than a week. And we've been talking every day since. So I think it was definitely prior work that we've done. I'm not good at the past life regression, but I think if we went back in, we would find some place where we've met in the past, in past lives.
Oh, yeah, that's what's funny, I guess, like, that's a good point. We actually haven't seen any past lives that we've had together, but I know we have. Like, we've just our souls just know each other, and we, like, do shit in the astral, so it's like we just know, I guess. I don't know, what even is this like?
Nothing makes sense. The
Oh my
more
god.
I know and the more I explore this entire different aspect of reality, the less I know. I don't know anything. And
Yeah.
it's interesting and it's given me purpose. Like going to the Aeonic Loom gave me a sense of purpose after that. And I felt like I had a mission, and now the missions evolved and split and turned into multiple missions and meeting with multiple entities. And but I don't think none of it happens without going to the loom. I think that was where I retrieved it, and that could be the point.
Yeah. I think it was. I think that is, that was like the remembrance, I think. Like when I didn't actually realize what was unfolding until after that journey and we started to unpack it. And then I was like, that's actually insane that we were like able to go to an oversoul realm. Like there's a reason behind all of this. And things just kept getting crazier and cooler. And now we literally are like every day just in awe of these experiences that we get to have.
Yeah, it was. It started as a healing journey and ended up as a fucking national treasure journey. I don't. It's so weird. It's like Lord of the Rings and the Matrix and just I don't. It's just it's all it's all tied together somehow. It's just so weird and fun and filled with purpose.
Yeah.
Still don't know what that purpose is. I feel like I have it, but I have no idea what it is.
TBD.
TBD.
We know it's there. It's evolving day by day, hour by
Yeah.
hours. Well, and that's the beauty of it, right? And hopefully, this podcast will either inspire you to believe in so much more that's out there, or will leave you completely confused. And honestly, both are very valid. So,
And both have happened.
yeah. All right, Boo. Any closing thoughts on this journey?
No, not. I will be back. We'll be back next week with another one.
Yep, we'll keep doing some deep dives for you guys. So thank you for hanging out with us. Dude, My Last Trip is available as a show on YouTube, and it's also available as a podcast everywhere podcasts are available. So make sure you're subscribed and following along.